they got parked their boat somewhere, not on the inside. Because he's all between them and the boats.
2 out 2 inches.
Event 79, the Women's Novice Grand Final. Washington State, Orange Coast, Washington, UC Davis, USC, San Diego State.
5 out
Ladies, we're going to a countdown start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attention. Go.
And we're away in the Women's Collegiate Novice Grand Final. All the crews have come away without incident. This is one of those races where there's a mixture of both freshmen, people who have come out of junior rowing programs, and people who have picked up the sport for the first time in university. And the crew in lane 1, the Washington State University crew, have grabbed an early lead of about 3 feet. The crew from Orange Coast are the crew that's had the least good start at this point. They've dropped about half a length on the rest of the field. As we come through the 250, Washington State have a lead of a canvas, but it's then very even between the University of Washington, the University of Southern California, and San Diego State University for third spot. As we come down into the second half of the first 500, Orange Coast have steadied and they're pushing back on the rest of the field. They had some early difficulties with maintaining the same pace as the other boats in the race, but they seem to have conquered that. Washington State are a long way over on their buoy line. They're having difficulty maintaining the center of their lane, and they're putting their starboard blades down on the buoys in the bay line. But they seem to have corrected their course a little bit. As we go through the 500, it's Washington State by half a length over Washington, who have a canvas lead on San Diego State, and then half a length back to a very even the University of California, Davis, and the University of Southern California, with Orange Coast College about a length back in 6th.
At 500 meters, just looking at our lane assignments once again, it's Washington State University in lane number 1. Orange Coast College pulling out of lane 2. Lane 3 will be Washington. Lane 4, Davis. Out in lane 5, USC. In lane 6, San Diego State University. And the placement call at 500 meters once again. It is Washington State on the lead, followed by cross-state rival Washington. Then looking at San Diego State University, it is Davis pulling up the 4th spot. The USC crew is in 5th, and Orange Coast College, with a little bit of starting difficulty, is rounding out the field.
The course conditions have shifted from the early morning races. As I look down the course here from 300 meters to go, all of the flags are standing at attention at each of the meter marks, indicating a pretty much full-on crosswind, which presents in turn some steering opportunities for the coxswains. They'll be blown, of course, downwind by these conditions. They must maintain their positions within the lanes. However, if they do drift over and there's no collision or no impediment of the other crews, there's usually not a problem. We've only had one collision so far today, early on. Shot there of the Orange Coast crew rowing out of lane 2.
Coming up on 1,000 meters, it is Washington State continuing on the lead in lane number 1. They are being challenged on the outside by Davis in lane number 4. Then looking to the far outside, San Diego State University. And then inside to USC. And Orange Coast College on the lead. Inside 1,000 meters is Washington State along the shoreline. All the way on the outside, San Diego State is continuing in the hunt. And in the middle of the field, it is Washington, Davis, and USC. And right now on the trail, Orange Coast College, they had a lot of difficulty coming out of the blocks and have suffered for it here. It is Washington State along the shore. Their challengers are Washington in lane number 3 and San Diego State all the way on the outside in lane number 6. Cal Davis has put on a little bit of a charge. And as I say that, they catch a crab and slow it down just a bit. Outside of them is USC, and Orange Coast College has not recovered from their opening difficulties.
At the 500-meter mark, we can tell the conditions on the course have worsened a bit. The blade work is starting to show that. You'll see a lot more splash, particularly here in the Washington State boat, our leader out of lane 1. Clean rowing from here on is going to make the difference, and if not, could end up in a boat stopping crab. Washington having a little bit of difficulty out there in lane 3. Seemingly unperturbed San Diego State. Of course, this is their home course, their home waters. They know these conditions quite well.
Looking at the shoreline lane, Washington State is continuing to be on the lead, but look outside, way outside, San Diego State University certainly in the hunt.
2:50 to go. It's Washington State. However, San Diego State University out there in lane 6 with a bit of encouragement could be our winner.
Washington has picked it up, and they have opened up some water over Davis. Southern Cal, Orange Coast College is trailing. As we're coming down to 150 meters, this is Washington State. They are being shadowed on the far outside by San Diego State, and Washington in a furious attempt to catch up. This is Washington State along the shoreline. Outside it's San Diego State University, and closing is Washington. Along the shore it is Washington State. All the way outside San Diego State, and then Washington in the center of our course. Moving back to Davis. On the outside of them, USC and Orange Coast College failing to catch up after a tough start. And looking at the finish line, Washington State is the unofficial winner. Outside, San Diego State with a good pull, and Washington, the University of Washington, with a furious charge at the end, didn't quite pick it up, followed by Davis, USC, and Orange Coast College.
Impressive showing by Washington State. That program has only been around for about 25 years. Very solid compared to, say, a Washington program, which has been around since the late 1870s, excuse me. And also looking very solid early here in the season. San Diego State University novice coming in unofficially in second spot.
Next up is event 80. That will be the men's collegiate novice grand final. And quickly looking our post positions. In lane number 1, it is Washington. University of San Diego is in lane number 2. Coming out of lane number 3 is California.